there. Okay, so this is the side. This is the front. Okay, let me see. Okay. So yeah, I think I like that. Let me bring it a little closer. All right, looks like we've gotten set up here. Still gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the main table. Anyway, good morning, good very early morning. It is 7:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Iniki, and I'm back to do another live stream for you guys, another vlog for you guys, okay? Thank you to my new subscribers. For those of you that are new here, my name is Iniki, and I just gotta keep pushing, okay? For those of you that have been here from the beginning, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you guys. So yeah, I ended up going live around 2:30ish, 3ish, just to vent. I didn't save the upload just because I got a little too personal. So I did go ahead and delete the upload. But I'm back again this morning. I tried to keep myself as busy as possible. So I decided to get up and rearrange. Well, first, after I got up at like 2:30, then I ended up going for a walk around 5-ish. Just to like, I had a lot of emotions, just to like cry and scream and get it all out. And it definitely did what it was supposed to do, because by the time I got back inside, by the time I got back inside, my fingertips were like completely cold, completely frozen. But yeah, so I decided to come back inside. Stay blessed. Thank you so much, Moonlit. I decided to come back inside, and I sat on the couch for a while, and instead of just letting that thing come over me again, I just said, nope, Iniki, get up. Every other live or every other video, I would have the den light here, or the den. Is this a den? Where you eat at? The den, right? Yeah, I have the den light here. And because the table was here, like this table was on this wall here, and it was just a lot of glare. So I'm like, you know what, Aniki, just get up, get your head in the game, take that bonnet off. You know what I'm saying? I still have to braid the ends of my braids down. I did some on the live when I was on live earlier this morning. You're fine, Moonlit. You don't have to apologize. Okay? So I braided some down, but of course I got discouraged with that. Just got discouraged, like I don't even want to do this. Happy to watching your big heart. Thank you so much, you guys. I just braided yours. That's awesome. Yeah, I just braided this yesterday. I did some double Dutch braids. Hey, everybody. So yeah, so decided to just get myself together, get up, and yeah, you know, I've been laughed at, I've been ridiculed, I've been talked about. I mean, again, I was just going over the voicemails that the father of my child left me, shaming me for doing my craft, right? But I can't let that get to me. I still have to continue. Native American hair. That's nice. But I can't let that get to me. I still have to keep going. The Lord has called me to do a few things. Thank you for my hearts, you guys. I really... You guys, oh look, I have a heart for you all. Let me fix it. I made this pin the other day, but I was saying that I'm not gonna let the enemy, I'm not gonna let the negative naysayers, I'm not gonna let the busted nerds, I'm not gonna let the people that don't want to see me win get me down. I'm still gonna keep going. I am gonna cry. Hey, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I am. But then when I finish crying, I'm gonna go, this is crooked. When I finish crying, I'm going to go wash my face, and I'm going to put a smile on. Okay, so I made this I made this pin a few days ago. I've already made the piece itself, the charm itself, but I just added the finding, the pin finding on the back during live. So I just want to show you all that. Okay. So I'm going to try to put this on. Make sure it's not crooked. And I like to wear pins for marketing purposes, but I love pins. Like pins, magnets, and earrings are my favorite things to make. I've been doing epoxy resin since 2019. All of these pieces here that you see, I've just recently created. And I did everything on live with you guys. So yeah, that's that. But today we are going to jump right back in where we left off. Again, we can't let the enemy or anything negative stop us. I know I'm not hurting anybody. I know I'm not causing any harm. I know I'm not lying, stealing, cheating, scamming, or doing anything like that. All I'm doing is just creating art and sharing it with whomever wants to see. And I just hope I hope you all like it. Okay. So I was inspired by the miracle of the story by Jesus feeding the 2,000. So I have the 2 fish here and the 5 loaves. I found this placard here. It's upside down. I found the placard here at the dollar store for $1.25. It had wooden twine in here, on here, but because of, all of the stuff that I'm gonna do to it and epoxy it, I don't think the twine would have held up. So I'm gonna swap out the twine for chain, okay? And these are the 2 fish. These are wooden fish, and I did get these from the dollar store as well. These were actually, I had to go fishing for these. No pun intended. But yeah, this is that's the front, that's the back. I do have Mod Podge on there, so that's what that gloss is. So that's what we will be doing today, this morning. I'm gonna finish putting Mod Podge on the back. I'm gonna do the sides, set that to the side to dry. I'm gonna do the same for the side, set that to the side to dry. And then I'm gonna go back to the placard and I'm gonna epoxy this entire thing, okay? All right, and then when it's completed, with the 2 fish and the 5 loaves, this particular piece here is called Impossible Math, okay? Impossible Math, and I believe that scripture reference, I want to say Matthew. It could be Mark, but don't quote me on it. I'll get all my facts straight and ducks in a row when it's completed. But yeah, so I'll glue that on, and then I will seal everything in epoxy resin. And then when I'm finished, I will then paint the back. I will then write the title on there, Impossible Math. Well, let me go ahead and just do that now since I'm talking about it. All right, and today's the 11th, so I'm gonna just date it for today. Okay, and then I usually take black paint and I thumbprint it as a form of signature as well. But there you have it, Impossible Math, my signature, the date, and I usually attach the scripture reference there. But I'll do all of that later because my other phone is upstairs and I just kind of want to just keep going. So yeah, moving forward, now I'm going to Mod Podge. I'm going to start with the biggest piece just because I should have already completed this. I should have completed this from days ago. But yeah, anyway, I like to use disposable paintbrushes. Reason being, it's because they're disposable. Alrighty, so I like to use a disposable paintbrush. As you can see here, the bristles are a bit coarse. right? So I like to use this for my Mod Podge, for my glazing, for all of that. And the reason why I use these and chuck them is typically because once I use it, whatever I'm using it for, epoxy resin or Mod Podge, it'll get caked up. There's no way you can save this brush, so toss it, okay? This is the Mod Podge that I'll be using, Mod Podge Super Gloss Brilliance. As you can see, it's old. I've had this for a very long time. All right, so without further ado, let us begin. Let me go ahead and just get this part off too. I've been procrastinating on taking that part off, but I took it off. Okay. So yeah, that's it. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everybody's gonna have a good day today. I know I'm definitely gonna try my best. Again, I'm just gonna be very generous. And I don't have to do this, but I'm definitely extra. So I add this as just a protective coating. Again, I don't have to. The epoxy will seal all of that in. As you can see, the clay is way dried and hardened. The paint has dried from however many days ago I finished painting this and just abandoned it. So now I'm back to pick up where I left off, and hopefully this can offer me a little bit of therapy in a sense, because yeah, I just need to get my mind off of things. Really need to get my mind off of stuff. And the only way that I know how to do that is by being productive in my craft. Again, I'm not here to try to prove to anyone who I am anymore. I'd try to sit and scream and jump and shout and prove, hey, I'm this, hey, I'm that, hey, I'm worthy to be loved, hey, I'm worthy of respect, I'm worthy of my boundaries being respected. I'm not doing any of that anymore. I know who I am. I know what I'm not. Okay? I know what I am. I know what I'm not. And I'm not going to let the negative want to collab on. I don't have an OnlyFans. I do not have an OnlyFans, people. I do not have an OnlyFans. I've heard of OnlyFans, and I've only heard of OnlyFans having a negative connotation. I do not have sex on screen. You guys are gross. I do not do that. I do epoxy resin. I do clay. That's it. I do not have an OnlyFans. Go talk to somebody else that doesn't have respect for themselves and don't mind showing their cat on camera. Go to them. Don't come on my lives leaving those types of comments. So that's my morning. No, don't retract your message. I already responded to it. What's your name? Okay, Maine. Don't retract your message. You asked if I want to make a movie on OnlyFans. You want to collab. I'm not a prostitute. So no. I'm in the middle of doing arts and craft, and you're going to come on here asking about OnlyFans. Galang where y'all going, y'all? Nasty, disgusting. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Both y'all try and look somebody for dugu. Move on, go along about your business. Nasty. I'm just not in the mood, y'all. So let's keep the disrespect to a 0. Please and thank you. I typically would laugh at things like that, but I'm not in the mood, man. I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood at all. Okay, so as you can see, I have the first portion of the placard done. And I say again placard because this will be hung up by chain. Okay? I find it so interesting that I'm sure if I was doing what everybody else was doing, I'm sure if I was doing what everybody else is doing, um, I'd get a lot more respect. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. If I was doing exactly what everyone was doing, I'd get a lot more respect. But because I'm choosing to go the long route, because I'm choosing to trust God with the impossible, it's taking a lot longer than I would like. But I don't have anything else to do. I don't have anything else. I don't have the support. But I was always told that it'll be strangers that'll support you before anyone that's close to you would. Like, I just have to keep remembering who I am. I have to keep remembering who I am. Hi, Lay. Okay, so this is completely Mod Podged. What am I doing? I am putting Mod Podge on this piece that I sculpted. I am a believer of Christ, and I had a piece drop in my spirit, and it was the story of the 2 fish and the 5 loaves. Here are my 2 fish, 1 fish, 2 fish, and here are the 5 loaves that I've sculpted out of clay. I sculpted out of clay, and the Lord dropped in my spirit how to create this color to make it look like bread. So I actually used 2 colors to make this color. I used khaki, apple barrel khaki, and I've also used apple barrel harvest orange. I mixed these 2 together with a smidge of jet black. So these 3 colors were used to get this color. Okay? So I'm going to set this to the side to dry. I'm going to trust that the Lord is pleased with my work, my handiwork, and I'm going to continue to Mod Podge. Yes, I'm going to be painting soon. When I finish putting Mod Podge on the back of these, I'm also going to go back to the piece that I started and never finished. I was making some keychains out of clay. So I started to sculpt some, well, I sculpted some cherries, okay? And I used the same color from this placard here because in the world of artistry, where everything is expensive, you don't want to waste any material. So I used the remaining of this paint and I painted these cherries, which worked out perfectly because as we all know, the blacker something or the darker something is, the more ripe and sweetened it is. So that's why I thought that would be perfect for those there. So when I finish this, I will be painting the stems and I'll be painting the leaf. And then I also have this thingamabob here that I've sculpted and painted as well. I have another keyhole. I have an eye hole in there so I can make that into a keychain. And then I have this piece that I sculpted another thingamabob. I have another piece that has another scripture reference to it. I believe the Lord is my anchor. Because if I didn't have him, I'd probably sink, right? Well, my ship would more than likely sink if I didn't have that anchor. But long story short, that's it. So I'll probably be painting that, and then if something else comes to me where I'm gonna paint, or where if something else comes to me that requires me to sculpt, then I have my clay here to the side. Thank you so much, you guys. So yeah, that's it. That is it. I am going to Mod Podge the sides like this. And I'm going to be not as generous as I was with the placard before because Obviously, that's a larger surface, right? But I'm gonna use thin. I'm gonna use thin coats for this because I'm actually quite ready to assemble. Because once I get everything glued on, um, once I get everything glued on and the chain looped through the holes, then I can go ahead and seal it in epoxy resin. But before I can do that, I just would like to make sure I have everything glazed and adhered or glued before I bust out the gloves and mixing sticks. Okay. All right, guys. So that's done. I'm gonna flip it and show you real quick. Okay. That's that. You are so creative. Thank you so much. I try my best. I try my best. Okay, so I'm gonna set this here so that can dry. And I'm gonna move on to the next one. Where's Ezra? I was calling to see where you were. I don't want you to come. Ezra's under the table. He has a thing for this being under here. I don't know why. I cannot keep him from under this table. It's only this table. There's the other table right there. It's only this one that he just cannot stay from under. He thinks he's my boyfriend. That's really what it is. He doesn't understand we're not the same species. I have to close my shower. I have to close the bathroom door just to take a shower. Because before I got him, I would shower with my bathroom door open because my bathroom doesn't have a window. You know what I'm saying? And I would want a little ventilation while I'm showering. So I would always shower with my shower door open. And plus, you know, LB, she's young, so I do want to keep a listen out for her. But ever since I got him, I have to close my bathroom door because he will follow me in the doggone bathroom. Like, come on, you crazy cat. Get out the bathroom. Yep. But let him tell it. He's the man of the house. And oh my gosh, if I call myself trying to go in, am I the only one here? I'm not sure. Is it the little cat? Yeah, Ezra. Yeah, he's 2 months. He's underneath the table. All right, so I have finished Mod Podging this. I would say I can Mod Podge this, but just because I want to add like some more stuff on there, I'm not. So I'm just gonna set this to the side to be tossed. I wasn't feeling productive before, but I'm definitely feeling productive now because I already got that completed. Once that dries and I'm able to glue it, it doesn't take more than 20 minutes to do my epoxy. So that's the easy part right there. All right, so I do like to have a clean working station. So I'm gonna go ahead and shift this to the side, being very careful to keep it out of Ezra's reach because he's at that stage now where he jumps and climbs on everything. He knocked over my lamp. He knocked over my fan a few days ago and then ran. So anytime he does something, like if I don't know where he is and I just hear a loud boom or something, I know he did something he wasn't supposed to be doing because he'll always try to run and hide like, you know, I see you, right? Okay. Got the Mod Podge here to put up. Moving forward, let's go ahead and let's do a quick paint job for the stems here. Let's do a quick paint job for the stems. We're going to grab that small brush. Okay, give this a good shake. And I'm not even gonna use like a palette or anything. I'm gonna just go straight from the top. Okay. And then because it is clay, I am gonna have to do a few coats. Okay, and away we go. You see that? Okay, and that's it. I'm not really a fan of this brown, honestly. But I use it because it's the only one I have right now. What is this, real brown? Yeah, I don't like real brown. I'm using currently Real Brown by Apple Barrel. And I wonder if it's because it's gloss. Maybe that's why I'm not feeling it. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, get some more paint here. Like that. And try to be mindful of like not making a mess. Let me go get some water in my cup, in my bowl. Good morning. Yeah, so I don't need a lot of water just because I just need to touch up. So later, it's a cat, so it can. Yeah, I know it is. I know it's a cat. Yeah, I know. I know it's just it's his nature, and he loves to stalk. He loves to stalk on me. I keep telling him, stop stalking on me, Ezra. All right. So what I did, I just took that wet brush. With literally nothing on it. And I'm touching up the edges like that, where I initially made a mistake. And that's it. Now resume painting. Taking care to not make any more mistakes. This calls for a really steady hand and a lot of patience. Definitely one of those trust the process type of vibes, type of situations. Okay. Almost. Looking good so far. Just the front part here. And because clay is very porous, you will have to go over it a few times. It all is based on you are gooder than me. The gooder is cute. It's all based on, and I try my best. I'm no better than no one. And it's not me at all. I can't take credit. The Lord gave me a gift to create. So it's all glory to God. But I was saying because clay is very porous, depending on the look that you're particularly going for, um, is would determine how many, you know, how many coats a person would want to use. Okay. There you have it, folks. About to flip it and show y'all. Oh, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Sugar booger. About to flip it and show y'all real quick. Cats are pretty crazy. Yeah, he's a crazy cat. He's a crazy cat. He sure is. That dude, man. Freaking kitty. I love that cat, man. All right, there you have it, folks. The stems are completed. Go ahead and put this brown up. I will not be coming back to the brown. Oh, I just told a fib. Yes, you will be. There we go. All right. You got tattoos? I do. I have some tattoos. All right, there you have it. That's that. Let's see if this can sit up straight. No. But those are the cherries. What do you guys think about that? What is haram? I don't know what that means. Okay, I'll lean that there. Okay. And I guess maybe later I can make like a lesson plan or something. It's good. I'm good at drawing. That's cool. Drawing is nice. Drawing is nice. I know how to draw. But yeah, that's it. This actually went by a lot quicker than I expected. I don't know. Maybe it was just because, yeah, that's Ezra under there. Maybe it was just because I was in my head. Which can be a very interesting place. But yeah, I hope everybody is gonna have a good morning, a good day. It is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, 7:34 a.m. And I am home. I'm home. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate that. That was nice. You know what's really nice? It's really nice to know that there are people out there that can be kind. You know, it's really unfortunate that you'll have people that are so close to you that knows a lot about you, if not everything about you, and they will be the first ones to tear you down, and then let it be a random stranger to come and give you, you know, uplifting words, and it's just like, gosh, you know. Oh, it's a Muslim thing. Okay. Okay. No, I've heard of it, but because I heard you say that's haram, but I'm saying I've heard of it before, but I'll do some more research. I like to read and learn. So I'll definitely learn so that I can educate myself on haram. You're never too old to stop learning. Never too old to stop learning. In fact, if you stop learning, that's a problem. because it doesn't matter a person's age. There's always room to learn. There's always room to develop. I've been doing epoxy resin for, again, about, let's see, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6 years now. Oh, yeah, because April 29th made 6 years. April 29th, 2025 made 6 years. Hello. Okay, so I think I got majority of the epoxy off. As you can see, I'm just peeling that here because it doesn't adhere to plastic. And I think I got majority of it off. I'm just, are you mad at racism? I don't think anyone is happy about racism. You're mad at racism? Well, that's good, IDK. But I don't know anybody that's happy about racism. That's a bit of a weird question. Alrighty. How many of you, I'm just trying to see something. How many of you that are on my live right now or in the chat, how many of you are under the age of 18? I'm really trying to see something here. They treat you guys like dogs. Do you have anything else to say, darling, or are you just wanting to be weird? Because I really like to leave my comment section on. I do love to hear from you all. I do love to engage, but stuff like that is just, what's the point? Do you have birds as your pet or anything? No, I don't have any. I only have a cat. I have one cat. No dogs, no birds, no amphibians, no snakes, no spiders, no tarantulas, no bearded dragons. I don't even have a rabbit or a gerbil or a guinea pig. I don't have any of that stuff. I only have a cat. And that's all I want. That's all I want is a cat. I didn't realize how costly he is. He went from eating a half a can. When I first got him, he would eat half of the can. Now it seems like he eats 3 cans a day. So it's just like, he has hard food. I tried to mix the hard food and the soft food to like try to stretch it. But it's just like, good grief. So yeah, you guys, that's it. I expected this to feel a lot differently. Anyway. So let's look at this placard again. Let's check out how it looks. This is how it looks with the Mod Podge about to dry. It's almost finished drying. Here are our fish. Waiting for that to dry. You see how fast that was? See how fast that dried? All right, let's check on our cherry here. All right, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go ahead and get some green. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this stem. Try to get it out the way. I mean, not the stem, the leaf. Bye. Hope you have a great day. You too, darling. Thank you. All right. And I'm just being very careful because it's not sealed or anything, and I don't want it to break. Because I really don't want to have to go back in. You have 2 birds, 1 duck, and 20 chickens. Wow. Nice painting. Thank you. You're 8. Top of the morning, y'all. Hey, 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 hey. You're 8. The reason I asked who's under 18 in here is because I have it set to no, it's not made for kids, and kids still find their way on my live. Like persons under 18 still find their way on my live. And I'm just asking God, what does that mean? Like, what do you want me to do? I don't mind doing arts and craft. In fact, I love doing arts and craft. I'm open to all ages. Let's just say that. Open to all ages. Okay, so that's the front part. Looking real cherry-ish, right? It's looking real cherry-ish. One of my ducks died. I'm sorry. Did you have a funeral for your duck? That's terrible. What was your duck's name that passed? I'm sorry for your loss. I bet it was a very special duck. All right, that's it, you guys. That is it. We've officially painted the cherry, which I'm super stoked about because, like I said, I've been doing this for some time now. So yeah, that's that. It is constructively chill. I love you, bestie. It is constructively chill. And I appreciate you saying that because it definitely gives me, you know, something to focus on. It gives me something. Look at me just scratching my hair like I didn't just do my hair like yesterday. My gosh. And I don't like doing this because that doesn't do anything other than give you a minor concussion. But yeah, I'll be braiding the ends of this crap down. I did some double Dutch braids. And then what I'm thinking about doing is bedazzling, because I'm extra. I'm thinking about bedazzling, I don't know, the leaf maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So I kind of feel bad because I typically would have like unfinished pieces already like created that I could like show you guys and paint on screen for you guys. So it's quite obvious that I have a lot to do because all of these have already been finished, and I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 more pieces over there that are finished, but they're not like a canvas, so I can't hang it up. But yeah, what do you guys think about the setup? Is it a smaller piece for a bigger project? No, let me show it to you. It's not a smaller piece. I say piece but because it's a project that had already been done, but I'm gonna show you. Give me a sec. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I said 3 pieces. I actually meant to say 4. All right. So I made these the other day on live. Um, I had an idea in my head. It didn't really work out great. So I was just like, yeah. But I think I might get some double-sided tape. So that's one. Doesn't have a name or anything. However, this one, this is my absolute favorite piece. And as you guys can see, when I was mentioning the thumbprint there, this one is called In the Beginning. Every piece has a scripture reference. So the scripture reference for this is John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God, and the Word is God. So that's that. That's this. This is what got me like, man, Lord, I think I really dig on that clay lettering. Let me try again. And when I tried again, I made an itch this. And itch this is a fish-like symbol that is widely known across Christianity. So I made an itch this, which is this. This was really fun to make. As you can see, it says itch this, right? It says 2 of 2 because I have a smaller canvas, a flat back canvas, where it is an itch this, and I drew Jesus in there because I was going to do the clay lettering, but it came out so perfectly that I'm like, I don't think I want to mess this up. So that's this one. And the reason I just left it is because I haven't figured out the color scheme for it or what I'm going to do to it yet. And you see it says 1 of 2, itch this. Yeah. This is the second one, but the great thing about this, oh, you an artist, thank you. The great thing about this is this glows in the dark. Yeah. So what glows is all of the color. It glows. So the green glows, the orange glows, the yellow glows, the blue glows, the pink glows, and the green. So yeah, that's that. What is that? So I am wanting to break down another canvas, but I'm sitting here making it seem like I don't have anything else to do when that's not entirely true. The initial piece that the Lord had placed in my spirit, I saw roses and I saw blood dripping from the top. So I have a black canvas and I have these leaves. I mean, I have these rose petals and whatnot. I wasn't planning on doing any epoxy, but I might as well just knock it out the way. So here is the black canvas piece. Here's the black canvas. And as far as the roses, you've created your own colorful surroundings, bro. Cozy ambience in there. Each piece holds sentimental value. Exactly. Yeah, it does. Because I'm down here a lot, right? Upstairs, down here is vinyl, but upstairs is carpet. The natural light is there, so usually throughout the day, like if I'm not live, then I will open my sliding door, open the blinds, turn off the light, and just let the natural light come in. But it is good to be down here in a ventilated area because epoxy resin does have a bit of an odor. And you don't want that. It can give you a headache if you just, if you're too close to it, or if you're just in such close proximity within it. All right, so the paint has officially dried on the cherry. So, what I was looking for, I think it's right here, in fact. My flowers. He showed me this piece in the spirit months ago, literally months ago, and I'm just getting to it. That's how long I've had these. I've had these since Valentine's Day, and I let them dry out because I knew for a fact that I wanted to use them. And when the Lord showed me what he wanted me to do, I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to get on it. And I never did. It'd be the simplest things about y'all. What do you mean about y'all? Okay. So that's that. So I'm just going to, I don't really know how I'm going to execute. That's why I really didn't just jump right in, because I don't know how I'm going to execute. I think what I'm going to have to do is, I think I'm going to have to put the epoxy down first. Yeah. I'm going to have to put the epoxy down first. And then I'm going to have to put the epoxy down first. And then I'm going to do some sand. I have some sand. I really like this new setup, you guys. I have some sand. I have green sand and I have red sand. And I have blue sand. So yeah. I'm gonna, that's what I'll be working on. I'm just gonna, looks like I'm just gonna get it out the way. And I have some leaves. Again, this is from a bouquet of flowers. Right? All right. So because I do have quite a few of these flowers and these roses in here, I think what I want to do is, like I said, I got to figure out how I'm going to execute. I think I'm going to have to do the epoxy resin first, and then I'm going to have to do the sand on the epoxy and then the flowers, right? So that's kind of just me talking out loud. Again, I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to execute everything. But without further ado, I might as well just go ahead and get back in. And y'all really be being yourselves for real. Okay. All right, so oh, look. Here's another one that I don't even have to prepare. All right, so let me stay focused. I want to get some of this sand here. I'm not gonna really rummage around. I'm gonna use green. All right, so what I'm going to need some mixing cups for my resin. Okay, I'm going to need I'm going to need my measuring spoons. Okay, so for this part, hi darling, you gotta go again. Okay, let's see. I'm new here, seeing what you're about, but I've seen professionals do epoxy first and add in whatever, maybe mix the sand into the epoxy. I can do that, but then again, I really don't want to have to. Sidebar, I've been doing epoxies for 6 years. I'm self-taught, but I'm just, trying to figure it out, how I figure it out. I've done mixing stuff in before. That's usually how I do it, but I think I'm just gonna directly pour the epoxy, pour the sand. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I'm talking too much right now. I need to stay focused. I am going to move the camera so you guys can see. I have my mixing stick. well, measuring cup. Okay. This is 1/3. This might be too much. But I'm gonna see. I have about 45 minutes of a work time once I mix this pot. Okay, I didn't know. Try it though. LOL, do your thing. Yeah. No. You're cool. You're cool. You don't know unless you ask. That's just me. You guys, I'm weird. That's just me kind of talking and thinking out loud. I'm engaging with you all. I'm talking, but I'm talking to myself. So yeah, let me get some mixing sticks so that we can stir our resin. And our mixing sticks is where? Here. Okay. Got some mixing sticks here. I'm gonna also grab some smaller ones, and I'm also going to grab a disposable paintbrush just in case. Okay, set this to the side. This is liquid latex. If I were doming anything, that's what I use that for. And where are my keys? I could show you an example. I made myself a keychain. Anyway, I'm talking too much. So, sand, check. All right. I do have some black cobblestones, but just because I feel like, and I want to show you guys, just because I feel like the canvas is black and the cobblestones are black, I'm not going to incorporate that. I may or may not incorporate these red chips here, or I may incorporate these gold flakes here. I freaking love these gold flakes. Hi, Gabriel. Not really too sure. Gold flake, red chips, gold flakes. And you guys, these are actually glass chips. These are real glass chips, you guys. Real glass chips. I'm a texture person. I don't know if you can tell, but everything that I've created, you can like touch and feel. Okay, so I have red glass chips, green glass chips, silver glass chips, goldish glass chips, and rose gold glass chips. I mean, I just freaking love touching stuff. What are you making? I don't know, but I know I'm going to be using these dried flowers here, real dried flowers. My child's father bought me a bouquet for Valentine's Day, and I had them since February 14th of 2025. The gold flakes are beautiful. Yeah, I freaking love the gold flakes. So I'm gonna use these today. See how dried they are? Perf. I even could take them and crinkle it. Trust the process. You got the green sand for the base that the flowers will be coming out of. We have our mixing sticks. We have the bigger sticks. We have the mini sticks. And we have the disposable paintbrush here. We have our measuring cup here. Set these gold flakes to the side. We have our paper towels here. I go crazy with the paper towels because every single use, you guys are going to see in just a second, every single use of the, when I put the part A resin and part B hardener, I always wipe it out after every single one. So it doesn't stick. Because you see, it looks brand new. I've had these for years. I just wipe it out after every use. Okay? And I have some gloves right here. Okay? All right, so I think that should be good. I think this should be good. What I'm actually going to do, bear with me, you guys. I'm actually going to shift around my setup for a bit because I want you all to get the full creative thing, right? So I'm going to shift the camera and I'm going to have it this way. And you guys you're trust the process. You're going to see. You are going to see what I'm doing this morning. Okay, let me move you guys here. Okay. Okay. Yep. Cool. So, we're going to start this here. going to take one of these. Okay. Nope, no, I'm not. I need to prop it. Okay, I need to prop it. Yeah. Yeah. You guys see that? I think I need a little more. There we go. Okay, let's get ready to rock and roll, you all. I need to get some, what do I need? I said gloves, right? Gloves. Dun 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 dun! Which one should we use? I'm going with the black. I got tons of stuff. I remember why I just stood up. I was going to go to my kitchen and get some gloves out of my junk drawer. Okay? All right, you guys. Where are we at? All right. Let's focus. This is in my way. I want you all to see the full thing. I feel like it's in my way. Okay. Well, I'm going to set this here to the side. Measuring cup, mixing sticks, disposable paintbrush, mini sticks, mixing cup for resin. Throw on our gloves. Oh, paper towels. Oh, that's why I got up, to get a plastic bag for the garbage. That's why I got up. I couldn't remember why I stood up. Okay, here's the plastic bag. I didn't even have to go to the kitchen. And I use this plastic bag for the resin, paper towels. Okay, set that here to the side. Okay, we're gonna put on our gloves. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, time to break out the big dogs. Boom, boom, boom. Dancing to the speed of light. Doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Okay? Oh, sugar booger. Before I start. Oh, here it is. Last and final thing. Let there be light. For the bubbles, you can either use a heat gun or you can get ghetto like me and use a hair dryer, but I don't have either of those. So you'll see me kind of get really intricate in there, like pop those bubbles. That's what this is for. So we're going to set that here. We're going to begin. We're going to begin. Make sure there's no debris whatsoever in your cup. Looks good to me. Let's go. If you're uncertain, okay, let's go. We're using 1/3 of a cup or 80 milligrams of part A, which is resin. 1/3 of a cup or 80 milligrams, part A, resin. It would be best to do this in a more warmer environment. I do have my heat on. My heat is on 75. Okay, we want to make sure we have no overspill. All right, looks full to me. We're going to go ahead and we're going to close this up. I like to have a clean, what is that? This is epoxy resin. Hey, Kelvin. Did it snow by you? No. No, it didn't. Okay. As I can get a little messy, but I do love a good, clean, for what it's worth, right? Workstation. So as soon as I get my epoxy where I need it to be, I just go ahead and I immediately put it up. Okay, I scrape that mixing cup, that measuring cup as much as possible. Try to get out all of that resin out of there. You guys want to make sure you have your PPE, your personal protective equipment. You want to make sure you have your mask, your gloves. Okay, make sure you have on something that you don't mind getting messed up. I don't unfortunately have a mask, but I am going to tell you to go about doing it the right way. You will, if you want to do epoxy resin, you will need a mask. So I'm going to grab my paper towel. I'm going to wipe that out. And I'm going to wipe it out very, very, very good. Because once this meets with the hardener, we don't want it to get hard in our cup, right? So you want to give it a really good wipe out. Okay. Part B is hardener. We're doing 1-1 ratio, equal parts. 1 part resin, 1 part hardener. There you go. Go ahead, take your paper towel, wipe that like that. Let's toss that back in the box. Like that. Let's take our spoon. I keep saying that. Let's take our wooden stick. Okay. It's that smell. Y'all make sure y'all wear your mask. Make sure you wear your mask. Okay. Set that like that. Paper towel. Wipe. My gloves just got really dirty from my stick just a while ago, so I'm gonna change my gloves. Okay, put this to the side here. Change our gloves. You don't have to change your gloves. I'm just doing it because that's just what I choose to do. But also because I don't want the epoxy getting everywhere when I'm touching and grabbing stuff. So that's why I'm choosing to change my gloves. Okay. And what I'm about to do now is I'm going to mix my resin, my part A, which is the resin, and my part B, which is the hardener. I'm going to mix that thoroughly until all of the streaks are gone. While I'm mixing, I'm also going to ensure that I'm scraping the sides, front and back of the wooden stick to ensure that no streaking will be in the resin. Let us begin. Scraping, you see how I'm scraping that wooden stick, scraping the sides here. And now I'm mixing. This part here, it requires patience. Again, I've been doing this since 2019, April 29th of 2019. I started doing epoxy resin. And you see that? It just peels right off. It doesn't even adhere to the cup. I love this stuff, man. I love this stuff. Never really had, you know, a lot of passion except for writing and anything. And, you know, I've always liked arts and crafts and stuff. But as soon as I was introduced to epoxy resin, which no one showed it to me, I remember saying a few prayers, and next thing you know, I see it on my timeline, on my feed, on Instagram 6 years ago. And I said, what the heck is this? And I clicked the video. And in the video was the person with gloves on, a cup, a mask, a wooden stick, and I just see them pouring. But you know, the video was edited, it was sped up. They were pouring, and next thing I remember, they were pouring into like smaller cups with different colors and glitters. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And I remember praying. I'm like, Lord, I don't know what this is. I don't know what you've just I don't know what you've allowed to come across my timeline, Lord, but I think I want to do it. So that was earlier in April of 2019. My birthday was later that month, April 23rd. I had gone down to Florida to spend my birthday with my son's dad, and I had flown back to New York. I was living in New York at the time. I was born in New York, but I've never was raised there. So that was my first time living in my birth state, right? But I couldn't stand it. Nonetheless, my cousin says, hey, because I remember asking him, scrape that stick, guys. I remember asking my cousin to buy me. He says, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, I want some Beats headphones, you know, the ones that go over the head, right? And he's like, okay, cool. So by the time I got back to New York from my birthday trip, you know, my little vacation from Florida, and I got back to New York, my cousin was like, hey, I never bought the Beats headphones because I didn't know which ones you wanted, right? Now at the time, the headphones were like well over $200, right? And I'm like, okay, that's no problem. And I hear in my spirit, just tell him to buy your supplies. So I said, yo, because we're Jamaican. Please don't do that. That's my backdrop trying to come down. I said, yo, cuz. He's like, what's up? I said, instead of buying me the headphones, right? I said, I think I want to start a business. He said, really? He said, doing what? I said, I don't really know yet, but I think I want to do something, and I need you to just get my supplies instead of buying me the headphones for my birthday, right? He says, okay, cool. I said, all right, well, I saved everything on my Amazon account because, again, when all of everything came across my timeline, again, I was praying to God. I had no idea what epoxy resin was. I'm doing epoxy resin. Mix your acids and bases. They complement each other. You in pain when it snows. I'm sorry about that, Gabriel. So anywho, so while I was studying epoxy resin, right, I remember I said I had saw the video come across my timeline. And from watching that video led me down a rabbit hole, boy. And I studied epoxy resin for 6 weeks. Reading every article, watching every video. I'm talking about I did it all because I was so intrigued. Like, Lord, what is this? On the 7th week. Oh, I'm skipping a part. So during that 6 weeks of me studying, right? And reading and watching videos and everything like that, I created an Amazon account and I created an Amazon chart, right? An Amazon, not chart, cart, shopping cart. And I told my cousin, okay, you know, fast forward back to the story. I said, hey, you know what? You don't have to buy me the Beats headphones for my birthday anymore. Just go ahead and get everything out of my Amazon cart because I think I want to start a business. He said, okay, cool. How much is an Amazon cart? I will never forget this. My Amazon cart was $174. He said, that's it? I gave him my phone, click. Within a few days, Nikki, yes, grandma, come, package come for you. Couple days, package come for you, package come for you, package come for you. And by the time I go downstairs and get all of my packages and I'm looking at it and I set everything up and I went out to, where did I go to? I went out to the mall. I don't even remember the name out in them. I think it was Long Island somewhere I went to. Went out there, went to the Joann. Was it Joann's or Michael's? I think it was Joann's. I went out to Joann's. The girl was trying to do some scams business. She's like, look, just give me the cash and you know what I'm saying? I'll hook you up. I'm like, all right, cool. I gave her like $20 for like $50 worth of merchandise. Went back home. I showed my grandpa, I showed my grandma. I set everything up. I posted it on my Instagram. I started out with nothing. I started out, and then I went to Amazon, and then I went to Home Depot, and I got glaze coat. I started using the brand Glaze Coat, a 32 ounce kit, 16 ounces part A resin, 16 ounces part B hardener for 20. At the time, it was $26, I think, after tax. And that's where I started from. A 32 ounce kit, graduated to a gallon, then a 2 gallon, graduated from nobody knowing what I was doing or nobody caring to actually making sales, and then buying my first car, which was from epoxy resin money, just from straight commission sales, to stopping for a while and then starting back and stopping. So I'm back. Last commission sale I had was 2 years ago, was March of 2023. March of 2023. And I recently had a commission piece sometime last week. Okay, so we have our resin mixed. I'm just gonna scrape the bottom just to ensure. While I was talking, you notice how my hand never stopped. I was wanting to ensure and make sure that I got all the resin and the hardener thoroughly combined. We want it to be as uniform as possible. We do not want any streaking. No, streaks are bad. And because I'm not going to be using any color, I don't think, I am just going to be working straight out of this cup here. You see I'm bringing it to my face is because I'm looking to see if I have any streaks. We don't want any streaks. If we have any streaking in our epoxy resin, it'll cause it to... I think it's amazing that you got me into creating art is just original when you make it. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. I'm gonna tuck my chair in. Tuck my chair in. I'm gonna bring this closer because it's showtime now. Okay. All right, so, how am I gonna do this? Let's move this paper towel here. All right, so let's just do, hope you guys can see, but let's just do a thin layer at the bottom, and we're gonna try to do the sand, okay? Thin layer, like that. Take my brush. I'm getting the sides. Don't worry about the overspill. That stuff peels right off. But I'm trying not to have any overspill, at least not right now, because, yeah, you don't want to waste any material. Stuff ain't cheap, especially not this stuff. This stuff is not cheap. Trust me, I know. Okay. And I'm gonna get rid of these bubbles. And I'm gonna add my sand. Trust in the process. I have no idea what I'm doing. I never do. I have an idea, but I never actually know how to execute. If it's more of one that's like more challenging. And we're gonna get the sand, but how are we gonna save the sand? I don't know. I got this for $1.25, so. Yeah, I love it. I love it, you guys. Okay, got the sand on. And now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm going to add more resin. Some people use their hands. Some people use a paintbrush. Notice how I'm pushing that resin. Push that resin, make sure you get those corners. This is just the first layer, because I already see that I'm gonna have to come back and do more layering. But it's good that I'm doing this now, because once I get this layer done and it dries for majority of the day, then late in the night I can come back and do the last layer. Not the last layer, I'm sorry, the second layer. Okay? And we're gonna add our plants, our flowers. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong way to do it. There we go. I want to get it to lay as flat as I can. I also just had an idea. I'm going to take some of these rose petals here. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so nice. Okay. More rose petals. Okay. And I'm also going to get some more. I'm going to get some more. I'm going to get this part right here. And so what you see, guys, once I put more resin on top, it's not going to be perfect. But once I put more on top, that's just so that I can lock it in. Okay? I'm going to come back a few hours later, maybe like really late in the nighttime, and then I'm going to go in with that brush and I'm going to do it like that. But I first need to adhere these. So whatever little roses I see, because this actually the main component of today's piece, I'm gonna just do like that. Like that. Okay. Put that here. Oh yeah. Put that in right in the center there. Want to get some leaves and stuff like that. We want to get that at the bottom here. You know, like how you be how you'll see leaves and stuff. Okay, not too much, not too much. Not too much. On the ground. Okay. Go back in. But first, before I do that, I am going to take a smaller mixing cup here. Because I just had another idea. That usually happens. These ideas just come to my brain. Because we're going to go ahead and set these flowers to the side. I think that's good with the roses. Okay. All right. Hold on. See some more. You see that? Okay, now I'm going to take some of this resin here. And I'm going to flip it in just a second to show you guys. And I'm just going to take a little bit of resin. And the reason I'm only going to be using a little bit is because I want to incorporate, you guessed it, those gold flakes. Okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my last bit of resin, and I'm going to get as much of the resin onto the plants as possible. Okay, I'm just scooping out the rest of my gold flakes out of this cup here. See See what happens when you go fiddling around with stuff that you're not supposed to be fiddling around with? You make mistakes. Okay. Get off my stick. Every single part that's sticking up, I want to go ahead and make sure I get that resin on there. So we want to saturate. We want to get the sand at the bottom too. Get these leaves. We want to stick everything in place because when we come back later, go ahead and saturate all that sand. We don't want that sand to move at all. If pieces of the flowers drop off, so what? You see how I go on my table and I scoop it up like that with that stick. Nothing gets wasted. So it's kind of sort of like a messy pour, but not really a messy pour. Okay, I'm getting all that sand. And that's it. That's it. Getting all that sand. If you see me biting up my lip, like, I can't help it. I'm sorry. Wow. You guys. Wow. Okay, now I'm going to flip it and show you. Hold on. Remember, this is just the first layer, you guys. I just wanted to get everything locked in place so it don't move. Okay? I'm flip it and show you. I'm gonna move this. Set that here. Take off our gloves. All right. All right. That's how that looks. Okay? As you can see, it's very three-dimensional. Very three-dimensional. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. It is a painting. It's well, not a painting. It's a canvas piece. Whereby I've used epoxy resin, dried roses, and gold flakes, and faux sand. So I don't know if you're still in the room, the person that asked, what is it? But this is art. No, this is just some dried flowers that I've had from my Valentine's Day bouquet that I wanted to just make something with. Sorry, it's not that fancy. So I'm just here babysitting the sides. That's what you see me doing, babysitting the sides. Um, Ensuring that everything stays where I would like it to stay. Because there's no way that I can control what the resin will do. It does its own thing. But I just want to make sure that everything is in a general area of where I'd like it to be. Like I don't want the sand at the top and I don't want the roses at the bottom. I don't want the sand. Hi, Penwell. Dang, I left for 10 minutes and you're finished. You work fast. I do. I try to work fast. I think it's amazing you got into it. Creating art is just the original when you make it. Yes, it is. Thank you. Okay. Again, here it is. This is it upside down. Okay. And this is it. All right, and so that was just the first layer of resin. I do have to come back later and add another layer. Okay, I want to come back later again, and I want to come back with, so this is gonna harden. This is gonna harden. And in a few hours, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna go in with a disposable paintbrush and I'm gonna really get in those crevices, with the resin and make sure everything is locked. Because as you can see here, some is glazed and some is not. Whatever part is not glazed will, it won't be protected. So that's that. What do you guys think about that? I kind of feel like I want to add more sand, but then again, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I love that beautiful work. Thank you. You really look smart. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to go in, pop these bubbles. I really love the gold flakes. The gold flakes really complement this. Like, I really love the gold flakes. Oh yeah, for sure. All right, you guys. That is it. My hand is off my work. I feel productive for the morning. Okay. I have Mod Podged our placard here. Mod Podged our fish here. Okay. And that is my work for the morning. All right. So I want to say thank you guys for joining me this morning. Oh, and let me just show you guys some of the stuff that I recently did too. So this one is called Let Us Pray. It is clay on canvas with epoxy resin and beads. I sculpted the snake, which as you can tell looks very cartoonish, not my best. This was my first attempt, right? Outlaw of a snake. See the little spikes in there, the cobblestones. I knew I could show improve with the snake here, so I tried again with Let Us Pray. And it says, Lord, I am yours. I come broken. Boldly I stand. Bless my hands. Be merciful to the wicked. Amen. Okay, so I made that. That took forever. Bedazzling. Everything is handmade except the beads and the canvas. But I sculpted the border. I sculpted the snake. And I bedazzled the snake. Nutmeg, my 13-month-old, made this when she was younger. And I just bedazzled her footprint and sealed that in resin. This is called Stitched. It symbolizes a broken heart, my broken heart. You can see the stitches there. This is also clay on canvas, sealed in with resin. And Yahweh down here is symbolic for the one and only God to rectify and heal my broken heart. And here again, you have Outlaw. Okay, so those are all the pieces that I've been able to to hang up. And then again, we have these other pieces here. We have the Itch This here. This does glow in the dark. Okay, and then we have In the Beginning. This is my personal favorite. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Yeah. And then we have these. Nothing spectacular. I just really wanted to try out a color combo I had in mind and the gold chips to see how they looked. And believe it or not, as an artist, I do have a bit of a thing where I'm very hard on myself. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So hopefully I can bring it back to life. Hopefully I can find another use for it. But outside of that, like, no, I don't like it. Your work is beautiful and all have meaning, love. Thank you. As a person yourself, you agree with the flakes. Thank you. I love the flakes. Where are you located? I'm in the United States. I'm in the United States of America. Okay, you guys, that is it. I am going to get some breakfast. It is 8:42. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you all that woke up early this morning and decided to join me on the live. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for your comments. For those of you that are new here, my name is Iniki and I am a craftsman for the Lord. Okay. And if you've been here from the very beginning, thank you again. And I love you guys. God loves you more. And until next live, you guys, stay tuned later.